Okay, so today we're working on a 2008 Range Rover, and it has a complaint where the instrument cluster is intermittently not working. Right now, with the vehicle running, the instrument cluster appears to be dead. The vehicle's running, no fuel gauge, no temperature gauge, no tach, no speedo, no driver information center. So we're going to connect the scanner here and do a scan on this thing and see if there's any codes. So we're going to try and auto ID this vehicle, 2006 and newer. Taking a little while to pull the VIN. It may not be able to correctly ID it if it can't negotiate the network, but there it seems to have done it. 2008 Land Rover, Range Rover. Let's do a code scan and see what comes up. Lost communication with immobilizer, vehicle speed sensor, range performance. This is an automatic. Vehicle speed sensor, low voltage in the transaxle, anti-lock brakes, driver seatbelt buckle pretension, control module, restraint malfunction, invalid data from vehicle dynamics, lost communication with transfer case, lost communication with all-terrain control, pressure increases too small when filling reservoir. This has got air ride, air suspension, yeah. Invalid data from engine controller, rotary encoder stuck in the intermediate position. I wonder what that means. Medium speed CAN communication bus, lost communication, lost communication, lost communication. Lost communication. All these U are ugly codes. Control module, restraints control module, lighting control module, communication malfunction of actuator, headlights, steering angle sensor, body control, transponder, seat height. Oh, just a few codes. Rear wiper park transmission, heating ventilation, front foot defrost mode stepper actuator. Oops. Yeah, I hit that button by accident. That's not what I wanted. No, I can't get back now. Damn. Oh well. Well, it appears we have communication with the instrument pack, if that means instrument cluster, although yet it's still not working. So where to start with this multi-coded mess here? Wow. That's where we were. We were in the parking assist, and I actually hit the parking assist steering column module. Well, I think the easiest thing to do is to clear everything. We're going to try a network code clear and then see what comes back. So we're going to clear all codes read by various controllers and see airbag. What does that say? 16 controllers? Okay, let's have a look at the instrument pack, see if we've got communication with that. Codes. Well, either those codes did not clear, or they're all active. I believe they did not clear. So I'm going to stop recording here and try clear these codes. So I redid the network code clear, but this time key on engine off, not running. As it does specify, it must be cleared with the key on engine off. And now I've just gone into the instrument pack, and I've got lost communication with parking assist, lost communication with TPMS, and control module, whatever that means. That one bothers me, B1A00 control module. So we'll see if we can get data out of this thing. Let's see if we got any kind of data. Warning lamps, input status. Let's check this. Battery, electronic parking brakes status, low coolant off. Those are inputs. Miscellaneous information. What's that going to give us? We got a data list out of it. This tach is still dead. Warning lamps. Everything's off. Yeah, everything's off. Got no turn signal indicators. I'm gonna look to see if there's any cases on this. So the gauges just arbitrarily started to work again, just like that. And cut out, and came back to life, and cut out, came back to life, and cut out. Vehicle is running. Let's try opening the door. I wonder if that's just coincidental, or it has something to do with it. I think it was just coincidental. Lovely. I wonder what kind of codes have come back now. So after the network code clear, I rescanned it. We got a seatbelt buckle pretensioner. We got lost communication codes in the instrument pack again. This fuel sender code. This B1A00 code just says control module. That shows up in the BCM as well. Steering wheel position sensor. And it shows up in the steering control module, B1A00. And that's it. I went on Identifix to see if there was any cases on here. Used that B1A00, and there's one case of an airbag module being replaced for that. Interesting, same code, driver's side pretensioner circuit fault. But there is nothing for diagnostics in Identifix. Fuel fired booster heater diagnosis and testing, but nothing for diagnosis of that B1A00. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more research to see what's possibly common. It's acting like a ground problem or a network problem because the instrument cluster cuts in and out. Wonder if we should look at the network and see how it's wired on this thing. So we're back on this vehicle this morning. Talked to the customer last night, and they said the instrument cluster's been acting up for about 2.5–3 months. No recent repairs. I noticed the battery had been replaced, but they said it's been in there for a few years. And the alternator apparently was replaced fairly recently. I might have a look at the alternator diode ripple. But the vehicle seems to have fixed itself this morning. It sat here overnight, and this morning I just drove it for about 10 kilometers, and the speedo and tach and gauges all function normally. At first, the check tire pressure message was on the dash, and now that's even gone off. So the instrument cluster is working just fine right now. I guess the network gods were up and working last night. So that's going to make it even more difficult to diagnose if the problem is not present when you're trying to diagnose it. I did have a look at the network configuration on this thing last night. There are 2 CAN buses in this thing. Well, there's 11 modules on the high-speed CAN bus, and depending on the options, 9 modules on the medium-speed CAN bus, and the instrument cluster that we see here is a gateway module. It's on both the medium-speed and high-speed CAN bus. I'm gonna measure terminating resistance at the DLC on the 2 buses, and well, we'll start with that and have a look at the network activity. But damn it, I wish it would act up again. They did not say it seemed to be related to moisture, heat, or humidity, but we'll see what transpires here this morning. So there's a lab scope reading of the high-speed CAN bus and the medium-speed CAN bus simultaneously. I've got this breakout box in here. I got the green trace on pin 6. Sorry, the yellow trace on pin 6 and the green trace on pin 14. That's CAN H and CAN L high speed, and then the red and blue traces are on pins 3 and 11 at the DLC. The instrument cluster is currently working perfectly, as luck would have it, and these waveforms look reasonable. I'm going to pause this recording and have a look at the amplitude, but they're supposed to be a mirror image of each other, and they certainly look like it. So again, it's not acting up now. I think all we can really do is a visual. I am going to measure terminating resistance as well. So I've got the battery disconnected to kill the CAN bus system, and across pins 3 and 11 we read 63 ohms. We're going to switch this to 14 and 6 and see what that reads. 60. So there's definitely no opens in or shorts in the CAN bus circuit, at least not right now. But again, it was acting properly. I think we're going to have a visual inspection of any of the modules that are in a nasty environment like under the vehicle. Well, that's interesting. After hooking up the battery, the high-speed CAN bus looks kind of off. Let's see what it looks like when we start this thing. Seems okay now. But key on, engine off, it was looking weird. No, it's okay. Mind you, that was key off. A little bit of a sawtooth pattern on the CAN bus signal, but I've seen dirty signals like that and there's nothing wrong with it, so I'm not sure. So these 2 ugly codes consistently return in the instrument cluster. Lost communication with parking assist control module and lost communication with tire pressure monitor module. There are no messages on the dash right now. The dash is functioning normally. Now looking at this thing, the let's see, instrument cluster. So the parking aid module is on the medium speed CAN bus, and it's apparently beside the base of the left C pillar, and the tire pressure monitor over here, center front of headliner. Oh, lovely. Both of those things communicate properly with the scan tool if I try to scan them. So I don't know why the instrument cluster is reporting that. I don't know why they want you to shut this thing off and restart it and wait 15 seconds and let's try communicating with the tire pressure monitoring system. codes in the TPMS. Let's look at data. So it definitely has communication with the TPMS system. The network activity looks normal right now on the scope. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Scope multimeter. Picture perfect signals. If you analyze them, they're about 2.5 volts plus a volt and 2.5 volts minus a volt on high speed and low speed. But then again, it's not acting up now, so I think we're gonna park this thing outside and let it run and see if it'll act up. Okay, so I read some cases on the internet, found a couple of forums where somebody had a similar problem like this, and the customer said that they had first experienced it when they hit a significant bump in the road. So I had raised it up and did a visual inspection of everything underneath. I couldn't see anything wrong. But the other customer that was discussing his problem on a forum said that if he hit the top of the dash, he could get his instrument cluster to come back to life. So I came back out here, started it up, and I'm going to try and see if I can get it to act up. There we go, look at that. Now it won't come back. So I think this one's got a printed circuit trace or something failed in the instrument cluster. It's funny how it had been left overnight and it was fine. So obviously temperature might have a factor. It's cooler today than it was yesterday, especially inside the cab of the vehicle. Not coming back now. Oh well. Wonder where we get an instrument cluster for this.